Hey, what is up, lovelies? I am distressed, people. There is so much happening in the Love and Deep Space community right now that it is shocking to be happening right before the 3.0 update. And let's just go over everything. So, yesterday, I had posted this lovely little video here celebrating the fact that we had a like a proper claim against Infold about how Silas, it doesn't have that much cards, it doesn't have that much content in the game, because this kind of I guess official statement against Infold is going to be a good thing in the long run for future love interests and even for future gacha games. However, I did not know until today the reason why this had happened. So as I was scrolling through, the timelines, I found some very interesting news, and man, it was so overwhelming. I posted this on my Twitter. Oh man, so much stuff is happening in the lad space right now, and a lot of it is serious stuff. Yeah, it is very serious stuff. And we have this individual here, Princess Dragon Lover 94, like Silas Main at the moment. It's no joke. And I'm like, yes, but it's also much worse than that if certain things are true. Now you guys must be wondering, what exactly is happening? Well, let me tell you. Okay, so first and foremost, we have this image that was circulating through CN interwebs, let's just say. So it's been trending, and people are like, what is happening? What is this entire thing? And we thankfully have Subtextually, who was able to translate what exactly was written in this viral and very upsetting expose, I guess is what we could call it. So first and foremost, let's give a little bit of recognition to Mad Dog, or Simp for Lifers. Apparently, a lot of insiders are coming forward right now to shed light on what's going on behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, as in behind the scenes at Paper Games. There's a conflict between the production team and higher-ups over whether Silas cards should be free or locked behind a paywall. Infold is clearly trying to squeeze as much money as possible from players while offering as little content as they can. Now, before we get up into an uproar, let's go through the entire post. The higher-ups are focusing more resources on other games like Infinity Nikki, prioritizing profit over content for this game. This is a huge problem not just for Silas fans, but for anyone who enjoys this game. Infold is prioritizing profit over quality and content, and while it's a corporation, this behavior is disgraceful. It's something we as consumers need to address. So, we actually had Subtextually, stumble across this post in here, I believe here. So, she says, wait, WTF, where is this from and who is the source? And people don't know who the source is. They say that this individual here is supposed to be a Paper Games insider, but that information is not verified. However, what is stated in this little post here is actually very concerning to us consumers, and I think we have to go over it, because whether or not this is true, like this individual is an insider or not, there are a lot of implications, let's say. Okay, so let's go over Subtextually's full post and full translation here. For those of you wondering why there's suddenly a campaign for the CN Silas fandom to push Paper Games or Infold to release more Silas content, it's largely due to the fact that in the last few days, a number of alleged PG insiders, Paper Games, have emerged and have made some outrageous claims regarding Silas's content. Here's one of the translations of one of the posts that are currently popping off on Hot Search. So basically to say it's trending over on the CN side. Please note this source is unverified. This could be someone who is lying about being an insider. However, it's because of this message, amongst a few others, that CN Silas fans are up in arms right now. So I felt like I should just translate it, that everyone can understand why there's currently such a big campaign. So, going back to the video that I made yesterday, this really is a huge campaign because they're having an intermediary company kind of try to mediate between the consumers of Love and Deepspace and the corporation that is Paper Games Infold. So they're trying to find this medium balance, because if nothing is done, then Paper Games as a corporation will continue to abuse their grasp over us as consumers in a gacha game. Now, before we move forward, I know people are going to be saying, well, it's a gacha game, the house always wins, this and this and that. Well, yes, it is a gacha game. However, there are laws in place in China specifically for gacha games to prevent something like this from happening. That is why they're being charged with consumer fraud. It is actually a real law in China where it does try to protect people who are playing gacha games, because it is such a predatory space. Okay, so let's continue on. I'll just directly send you a voice message because typing really is a bit slow. Okay, so this is what this post is supposed to be saying. Okay, it's just that right now over at Deepspace, the planners are fighting with the production team. The production team wants to give out compensation cards for free. They want to squeeze the cards into the permanent pool. Then the game planners want to use some kind of cumulative recharge approach, basically making players pay to make up for the originally missing cards. And then the production team frequently argues with planning, because planning, according to what he says, is just a group of men who look down on female players and are really arrogant. Additionally, previously, no matter what happened for Silas's pools, it was always Sister Che, Silas fans, who paid the bill. Okay, so just to clear things up a little bit, the production team, I will say, is technically on the consumer side here, while the planning team is supposed to be in regards to the executives of the company. That is what I've seen on different translations of this, but I guess the direct translation is technically planners, so take that as you will. Let's continue on. After the afternoon, the production team and planners had another fight. And over on Yao Runho's side, he doesn't really manage the production or planning team. He's just completely spineless. He mainly manages Nikki. Yeah, so right now, what they'll really do is hard to say. So here they're talking about, there was another argument between the production team for Love and Deepspace and the executives, and the CEO of the company doesn't really have, I guess, the gall to say something or choose a side. So if the CEO doesn't even have the say in what's going to happen to Love and Deepspace, then what's going to happen to our game, guys? Now, I kind of want to make something a little bit clear. This is my understanding of how corporations work. So you have the CEO who kind of runs the company, but if it's going to be a corporation, then I'm guessing that people have, a certain amount of shares in that company, and these would be the executives. So the executives have shares in the company in terms of stock and whatnot, and because they could hold a majority in Paper Games as a corporation and have more of a say of what happens in the games that we play rather than Yao Run Ho's. So as the CEO, technically, if the executives hold more stock, they could basically kick him out of his own company. That might be why he doesn't want to take a side here, and that's why somebody is saying that he's completely spineless. Now, that is my understanding of corporations. I cannot say whether or not that is fact for Paper Games specifically. However, that is something that is definitely possible in, the vast world of corporations. If I am wrong, somebody do, please do correct me down below. I don't want to be spreading any misinformation about that. So let's continue on. Let me analyze the planner's psychology for you a bit. So this is the executives. Now that it's the end of the year, companies are already drafting annual reports. And then, typically before the end of January, they can still adjust the data. So I'm saying many planners are senior management executives, and senior management can receive profit-sharing bonuses. Profit-sharing bonuses, I also think this comes from having stock in the company, because, if the company makes more money, then the executives can basically take their own slice of the pie. So in reality, they just don't care whether or not this game of yours will survive for long. They don't care how much money, they only care about how much money they can grab. Even if, let's say, the company goes bankrupt, he can still take his excellent performance metrics and put it in his resume to job hop. I'm guessing this might be in regards to the CEO himself. Like this, you guys can infer the planner's psychology. They absolutely cannot love any particular character. So from what we can see, it's just very neglected characters. They just hurt one fan group to make the other happy. Literally, they blacken carry water because they completely don't care at all. They just want to make money. Note, after speaking with another user here on Twitter, Silas Programmer, who I believe is also part of the translation project, I could be wrong about that, it seems that there was a speech-to-text error that may have recorded it as Ting-che, which instead of Silas's name. Okay. So that is the, I guess you can assume this is a word-by-word translation of the post that's going viral right now. Excuse me, I'm gonna take a sip of my tea. Okay. Let's continue reading. As a result of the above and a few other insiders, there's now a massive campaign with CN to stop spending. So this right here now is back to subtextually's words. So this was the translation, this is subtextually. As a result of the above and other insiders, there's now a massive campaign with CN to stop spending and file complaints about the unfair gacha mechanics. As of this time of writing, Lads has reached the top of the Black Cat complaints ranking. Oh my god, that's crazy. Black Cat Complaints is a Chinese consumer complaints platform similar to BBB in the United States. So, as I said in my previous video talking about this whole debacle, Black Cat Complaints is that mediary company that was created by Weibo in order to alleviate the pressures and also fix a lot of the solutions between the consumers and the corporations. Okay. As previously stated, it is unclear as to the veracity of any of these claims. They very well might all be wild rambles of a fearmonger, but I wanted to at least translate this for everyone since I saw the screenshot was already floating around untranslated and wanted to provide more context. Okay, so big thanks to Silas Programmer for helping explain what's going on in more depth and checking things over, because I know they're more from the CN side that was welcomed into the Twitter space. So that gives you a little bit of context about what is going on, why there is this huge campaign, and what exactly this post is saying. And again, whether or not this is true, really, actually, you know who says it the best is Lena here. It doesn't even particularly matter whether if it's true or not. The fact is, he has less content than the other love interests, and the content he gets is 90% have been gated behind a paywall, unlike other love interests, and is more expensive to obtain than other love interests. Fans should be outraged either way. because it's not only about Silas, it's about future love interests coming into the game, and it's also setting an example for any excuse me, sorry. For any gacha game for any gacha game coming into the Otome gacha game space. So this is why this is actually really, really big news. Sorry, I have to drink my tea. Okay, so that is, I'm drinking tea while spilling tea, guys. Sorry, I never thought I'd do that. And there's a huge mix of reactions from the community. So you have people here looking at the same original post, I believe up here by June. And as far as we know, they're the first person to post it over here on Twitter, basically on the EN side. And some people are saying, I don't want to spend money for this company anymore. And it's just very frustrating because now we can see how greedy Infold really is. Like, we all knew how greedy Infold was. We all knew this was a gacha game, right? But we don't really actually understand the scope. The fact that this individual here stated exactly where was it? In reality, they just don't care whether or not this game of yours will survive for long. They only care about how much money they can grab. So basically, for them, Love in Deepspace is just a cash grab, guys. They don't care about the characters that we make. And this is just the executives, which is crazy because as far as I'm aware, Paper Games is 70% women who work for that company, because they're the ones who's making the content, they're the ones who's making the story for Love in Deepspace, where it's probably the 30% of men who are the executives, who are deciding whether or not, to release certain cards, certain pieces of, what's that called? Not information, but content in the game. And it's very, very frustrating. You have this individual here, Stella Aris art. My god, I'm so sorry if I butcher people's names. When you expected that Infold would be different from all gacha companies out there, but in the end, all of them are the same. It's honestly making me less interested in playing if they continue to show disrespect towards their player base. And I agree, guys. Like, I love this game, but in the long run, this is a gacha game, and I know it's going to eventually come to an end because there's a certain story that we're following, right? But if this game ends before that story is told, I would be so sad. I would be devastated. Not only because I've spent money in the game, but because I genuinely love the stories and the world that these devs made, that the production team made, that isn't being respected by the planner team or the executives of Infold. Then you have this individual here, again, Mad Dog. I don't want to come across as negative, but I do have some real concerns about the future of the game. If Infold keeps putting everything behind a paywall, it's possible they'll focus more on profits than on quality, especially if they see people are willing to pay for anything they can get their hands on. That's a problem. And it's important that we as consumers speak up about it. This issue affects everyone, no matter who your main is. This should be incredibly important right now because the community right now is so split between people who are upset about Silas's cards lacking and content lacking, between people who are accusing, CN players who like Caleb for incest and all of these, disgusting things, which it's not true, guys. And I mean, it's crazy how much Infold is able to manipulate us and break us apart and pit us against each other when we should be focusing on the main enemy, okay? And the main enemy is Paper Games. The main enemy is the executives who are trying to control our pockets. And it's very disappointing, guys. What people don't understand is this pattern of hiding everything behind a paywall will bite everyone in their ass. It's not just side girlies. They were trying to get away with hiding everything behind a paywall. And this is true, like they're going to try and do that. You see it now with our freaking anniversary event. They brought out the deluxe passes. They brought out a lot of different like paywall things that they make it seem like it's this amazing thing. But in reality, you have to pay $1 upfront. You had the outfits for MC during the during the Wander and Wonder event, where you had to pay real money to get those. You couldn't just use chocolates. Like, they're not making it easy for free-to-play players. They're not making it easy for people who genuinely love and want to enjoy the game. And yes, again, I'm going to say this again because somebody's going to say it in the comments down below. This is a gacha game, yes. But can't it be a little bit more fair? I know people want to make a dollar amount, okay? But, you know, people who are spending in this game need money too. Like, it's crazy. It is crazy how, like, money hungry this corporation is. Now, if you are even doubting for a second that Paper Games is not money hungry at all, let's just take a look at this little post here. Now, if you didn't know, this is the CEO and founder of Paper Games, Yao Run Ho. Welcome. This is his face, and this was a post made 1 month ago that got some attention on the official, okay, Love and Deepspace subreddit. Now, if this post was anything close to bashing the CEO, then this post would not exist anymore. But let's go down and see what the fun facts are. Okay, interesting. He graduated from this university. Yeah. Paper Games is one of the first companies in China to create mobile games for female audiences, with famous games like Hello Nikki, Love Nikki, Mr. Love's Choice, or Love and Producers. Pioneered the Otome game genre in China. Holy crap, it did? Anyway, Shining Nikki, Love and Deepspace, Infinity Nikki, which, you know, just recently released too. And he has also cameoed in Love and Deepspace. His silhouette cameoed in Love and Deepspace. Now, guys, the last bit of information in this post is here. At the end of the day, he is still a businessman. He has admitted multiple times that the only reason why he makes female-oriented games is because he wanted to make money. He saw a market and went through with it. We acknowledge all the good he has done, but also do not hesitate to scold him whenever he does get a greedy move again. Oh, he does greedy move again. So, yeah. This guy has found a way to manipulate loads of women into giving his company money. Guys. So yeah, I mean, truthfully, I am speechless. I am so worried for the future of this game. I really love Love and Deepspace, but like, if they're gonna continue being like this, I need to see what's gonna happen after everything is all said and done, you know? Like, I want to know what the end result is of this campaign that they're doing. If there's any way that we can give them support. I think people are saying that we should email the EN email address for Paper Games or for Infold, and, like, you know, share our disgruntled feelings about it. So that is one of the ways that I think people are saying that we can show some support from the EN side. But I don't know, guys, like, it's so sad because whatever happens on the CN side is ultimately going to decide what's going to happen to us now. And yeah, that is pretty much it. This is a very concerning situation. And it's happening right before the 3.0 update, guys. This is crazy. I'm gonna tell you now, whatever happens when Caleb is released, how many cards he has, what content he has, is going to either set a flame to this situation. Because if he's released with more content than Silas was, of course, Silas Curlers are gonna get upset. If he is released with the same amount of cards that Silas was released with, oh man, everyone's gonna get upset again. And time will tell on this situation, and hopefully Info gets their ducks in a line because holy crap. Alrighty, well, that is pretty much it. If you haven't followed me over on Twitter, or if you have a Twitter, definitely follow me here. I do give some updates about what I'm up to, what my thoughts are about certain things, and also like my upload schedule. So definitely give me a little follow here. I update this a little more frequently than I would do like community posts on YouTube. So that is pretty much it. Thank you all so much for watching, for listening to me ramble, and let me know what your thoughts are about the situation, because this is going to affect everybody who's playing Gacha Otome in general. So all I want is for corporations to respect female players who play Otome Gacha games. That is all that I want. Alrighty, well, thank you all so much for watching. If you want to subscribe to the channel, I cover love in deep space. And, yeah, that was pretty much it. I am Lynn, the Gacha Goblin, and I will see you lovelies in the next video. Bye-bye now.